Okay. Why online politics do not matter. Warning Schizo-post from PF Jung. Okay, let me see.
When I was younger, in high school and in junior high, I would say junior high it started, I began to pay attention to politics a lot.
Which is completely different from me because even when I was in high school, even in my senior year, I still didn't give a flying yuck about politics. What was I worried about? I was worried about um I think I was still like hardcore into like Call of Duty and shit and the Halo and the next Assassin's Creed, playing Skyrim. Um Maybe I was playing a little bit of League of Legends. I was still like a hardcore into games, video games. Didn't give a fuck.
And the reason is I was a pretty smart kid and I wasn't good at
Yeah, I was not. I was like kids would like to think that they are A or B students. You know, like with the types of grades they get. It's like, yeah, I was in school and I was like an A B student, but bro, I was like a C or a B student. Like I went back a couple years to like go figure out like I think I needed my high school diploma for some, I think for my current job or something. And what was it? I had to go up to the office and I was just like flooded with like, oh god, it's my high school. Oh, always when you go back to high school, you're just like everything is just smaller for some reason. I mean, it just is. I mean, I imagine like, you know, when you're just a smaller person, it's like everything seems so big, and then when you're just a dang adult, every you go back to your high school, it's like, oh wow, everything's just smaller. Oh my god. But I mean, anyway, like I go up to my counselor or the office person. I'm like, hey, can I get my high school transcripts? And they're just like, yeah, sure, give me a minute. And then da 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 da. They grab them, and I'm not like usually just give you back to them. They give them back to you in like an envelope, and it's like it's sealed or whatever. But I think I was able to talk to like some guidance counselor lady real quick. And I was like, hey, can I just see my grades that I used to get? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I was like looking at the grades for like throughout the years, and I was like, holy shit, I was a fucking like idiot, dude. I was like looking at all the grades in my classes, and I was like, I got like C's, B's. Maybe there would be like a random A. Maybe there was like a random D, but I like for the most part, I was like an average fucking kid, and I somehow was like managed to, because like I think our school did like diploma, diploma with high honors, diploma with higher honors, then diploma with like highest honors. I was barely able to get into like with highest or not highest. I was barely able to get into the high honors chunk, which wasn't really anything. It just means like you're not a complete retard, but you're still mostly a retard. But whatever. And it's like I don't know, dude. Like I was just not too interested in anything high school related.
sports and I wasn't very cool. So I figured the way
Me neither. I was not into sports at all. There were kids that did like it. There were kids that did like weightlifting class. I did do weightlifting, but honestly, I just stood in the corner on that little like leg raise thing and did a bunch of leg raises, and I just looked at the other chicks. Admittedly, everybody was wearing about the same thing of like t-shirt that's tucked in and like just regular gym shorts. It's not like the girls would try to like roll up the pants to try to make it look like they have short shorts, and I'd be like looking around, not too creepily, just enough, you know, 1 to 2 seconds, no more. Any more than that, you're a creep. And you know, anytime somebody met like I made eye contact with you, just look away.
compete socially is by showing off how smart I was by saying, "Oh, look at all these high-level political things that I'm interested in." And at the same time, I
No.
could stand on this fake moral high ground of, well, not only are the things I'm interested in intellectual, they're also very important. They affect everybody's lives. Fortunately, I
I mean, that's cool that he came to that realization very early. I mean, I think that's good.
realized that that's a bunch of bullshit because most problems that people have are not political, they're personal, which is not to say that those two things are entirely separate, because if companies are distributing opioids at the rate that they do and cause people to overdose in ridiculous amounts, that obviously has very significant personal effects. But most people watching this, you, the individual, most of the biggest problems that you have can be solved independent of whoever is president.
Yeah, most working class people's problems can probably be solved by money. Personal problems like feelings, emotions, those things need to be like tackled with on like a different like mental level. You know, being able to like forgive or forget somebody, coming to grips, like trying to take revenge on someone that wronged you in the past and you're still like fucked up about it or something like that. I mean, yeah, you could say you could throw money at it like with like a therapist or something, but it's still like you still have to do the work, the mental work of like going through the whole like acceptance and so on and so forth and like moving on. Like you can't really throw money at those type of things.
Fortunately, many of my peers, many people watching this video, appear not to have yet learned that lesson. And they are willing to unironically go on Facebook and go on Twitter and go on Instagram and claim that if you vote differently from me, not only are you stupid, but you're also a bad person. Maybe you're racist, or maybe you're this, that, and the third.
I didn't know this was going to happen.
Epic. Do online politics matter? Well, yes, I made a video explaining it, but it was more of an academic dive, and I realized that a lot of people might see that as cope.
I am a normie. I am not a nerd. The only thing I nerd out about is video games, and more specifically, like aim training. And even then, that is a niche of a niche of a niche thing. That is about the only thing I can really nerd out about. Other than that, I am a normie for the most part. I mean, I could be like a nerd when it comes to like gym shit and health shit, but even then, I am like, like compared to some people, I am like surface level. I mean, I just go to the gym and just go.
Justify wasting an incredible amount of time sitting in front of their computer caring about complete useless bullshit, which could very well describe what I do. Now,
it's not useless if you don't regret it. If you regret doing it, then it is useless. If you don't regret doing it, then it's not useless. That's what I think. I mean, because you can make the same argument about playing video games. You know, video games are effectively useless, but as long as you enjoyed your time playing it without remorse, without regret, I mean, I think it's fine. But then you could probably argue like, oh, that's hedonistic and blah, blah, blah. And that's like a whole nother thing.
Now, this is one of the fundamental challenges that people like me and people watching this have to navigate, which is how do you balance not wasting your time caring about irrelevant political nonsense that has no immediate impact on your life versus not abdicating your responsibility to care about the social structures that allow you to live your life free of caring about politics in the first place?
That's a hard ass question. I would probably have to think real hard and listen to that statement many times over to even try to like grapple with it. How do I care about politics, but not so much enough? But I do care, but I should be caring about my immediate social area around me, like myself, my friends, my family, my neighbors, my community, so on and so forth, because they get affected by the political stuff. So it's like there's so many degrees of separation that I think, I don't know, like a lot of people, like once it reaches like a point, people will just not give a fuck. I mean, shit. Okay, let me just hear.
There are good reasons to end up on either side of this divide, to not care about politics. Look, if you're watching this, chances are...
And I can tell he's like just as flustered as I am. He probably was like, had like a rush of thoughts, and it's just like,
You are, not chances are, overwhelmingly likely you're on a sort of a skewed end of the personality distribution of things, right? Like, to care a lot about ideas is somewhat unique. You might take it for granted in the degree to which the media you consume and all your social media engagements and a lot of the people you hang out with are, of that nature, caring about ideas. But
oh yeah, like, you may not realize it, but you are what you watch. You are what you consume. 100%. I mean, as much as I would like to think that I am not, I think it comes with, it matters like the age. Because obviously, as like a little kid, you're like super impressionable, and like, best case scenario, the older you get, the more likely you are to be able to sniff out bullshit and whatnot. But even then, like, who really knows?
most people don't have the interest or the capacity. But if you are wired to care about ideas and to care about politics, which is the manifestation of, the battle of ideas, politics in its best sense is simply the discussion and application of the most important ideas that people can agree or disagree on.
Mm-hmm.
If you care about those things, then you run the risk of misjudging how much a lot of the political discourse and the political figures and the drama that goes on between online political influencers or politicians or whatever, how much any of that matters. And look, but prior to having the YouTube channel, the biggest problem in my life was I didn't have an outlet for creativity and coming up with ideas and discussing things.
Oh yeah, the thing that got me to like start doing like at least like YouTube Reacts, like whoa, big fucking creator, like the thing that got me was flashback, was this thing when I realized what it meant. This picture, this drawing, this image of and he's got like some like eyes, and it's like, oh whoa, it's like whoa. What, I think it was like a dog or something. I don't remember. And he's like walking across like the universe or something. But I didn't really understand what it meant. I was just like, oh, it's just like some regular internet art. Until like I've read like an article that explained what it meant, and it's like what this like picture meant was someone that just walks around life consuming content and can see literally anything they want, but they never take the time to actually try to create something. That's why he has no hands. He does, like, he can look around, walk around, travel, and do anything, and he can admire and like go through all the motions and whatnot, but he just simply cannot create anything. And I was like, holy shit, that's what that means? Fuck, that's me. I am consuming too much and not creating diddly squat. So I was like, oh shit, what should I try to do? Okay, let's try to make a YouTube channel. Oh, tried gaming, tried streaming. I just suck ass at that. I'm not good at anything. I am a fucking average person at best. I have no like real life experience. But fuck it, whatever. Let's just like do some like YouTube shit and try to sort out my thoughts. And just, for the lack of a better term, try to make it like a little YouTube diary. But yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's fucking me. I can't be that, because I think a lot of the times, especially nowadays, people will realize that this is them when they consume too much and create nothing. They, at least what I did, there was like a spiraling depression effect that I was just like, fuck, if I started like spamming too many YouTube videos like one after another, I'd be like, everything would start to sound like blah. Everything would sound like just go in one ear, out the other. How much dopamine did I get off of this video? And so on and so forth. So I was like, shit, I got to do something. Don't save.
Literally hung out in the politics Discord and just debated people.
Damn.
To get the fucking, itch scratched
Yes,
of
yes, the creation itch.
intellectual discussion. So, denying the part of you that is like interested and worried about the election and political stuff is a mistake. But you can, just as easily make a mirror image mistake, which is the one that I'm in danger of doing now, certainly at this point in my life, which is putting too much time and energy into political stuff and thinking, well, if I talk about these things or I do these things. Although here's the thing, and this is a meta conversation. Sorry, I don't know how to do these videos anymore because I don't know who my audience is.
That's okay.
Do people care about my thought process about, well, I think I'm spending a lot of time glued to a screen talking about politics? It's like, yes.
Okay, so what I first saw PF Jung was, I think his like little League of Legends videos popular. Yeah, all these type of videos, all of this shit is so funny to me. Because like I casually watch like Destiny, casually watch like Joe Rogan. I think I've seen Vosh like a couple times. And those videos started popping off. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. If he's gonna make these type of videos, he probably had to, or the Jordan Peterson one, he probably had to have like some sort of a, decent level of understanding of each of these type of people, and to put it into like a League of Legends format. I thought that was funny. I thought that was great. But yeah, I mean, there's probably someone that's has another itch to like talk about something deeper. Yeah, sure.
I sort of have a justification because I make YouTube videos and I do genuinely want to be in the online media space that intersects with politics and all that stuff. So I guess I have an excuse, but even then, not really, because, it's like still don't.
I mean, you like what you like. If you want to put your time and effort there, do it.
I still don't have 9 kids in a farmhouse with border collies that I would like to raise. It wouldn't be border collies. It'd be any dog. It'd be a rescue farm. I wouldn't limit it I wouldn't be ethno-supremacist in my dog breed thing. My point is, this is the advice I would give to people watching. Do not try to solve political problems. You won't.
Oh, yeah.
You are a single individual in a sea of millions. Instead, become the kind of person who is capable of solving those problems. That's
a tough one too. Become the type of person that's capable of solving political problems. I think even that is a pretty big ask, because even to have the capability, before the capability, you still need to have the understanding. And the understanding of a political thing is monumental. Most politicians don't even have the understanding part down.
Long exercise. It's a very different problem to solve. I'm under no illusion that anything I do right now is going to matter significantly in the short run. But if I spend 10 years genuinely trying to learn, genuinely trying to improve myself, trying to be honest, and learn how to properly navigate social media in the online realm, then I may have a chance of affecting things. Because shit is wild, and tomorrow is the election. Well, today when I post this. Mm-hmm. Am I nervous about the election?
Well, me watching this, the election will have already happened, and Trump won. And it's like 10, 11 days, 12 days, probably like 15 days after. What is it for me when I'm watching this? Like November 11. Yeah. So, yeah. He was pretty right about this being a schizo-post. He's just like all over the place. But I mean, it's whatever.
Holy shit, I'm fucking schizo and autistic, probably. So let me calm down. Am I nervous about the election? No. Am I nervous about the political violence that will likely occur on a small scale in very small areas?
Maybe, but so far, nothing has happened.
Probably not. I guess I'm so used to being concerned about the future that the fact that we're now coming to a point where it's like, oh shit, a decision's going to be made about what kind of future we have, it doesn't really change the algebra or the calculus. Yeah, and it is interesting because a lot of people, I have friends who are not obsessed about the shit that I'm obsessed with, but they're forced to kind of be like, fuck, like, dude, I'm worried about what's happening. And I talked to a friend who was not doing too well and was on drugs essentially. And he was like talking about the election as being like a source of like nervousness and like a driver of that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. And it's hard for me to gauge. I don't know how much this mentally weighs on people. It feels like it weighs on people a lot more than I think it does, even though
I don't know. I mean, it depends on who you're talking about, who your audience is. I mean, me personally, it don't matter to me. The sun will rise and the sun will set, and after the next 4 years, another person will come into power, and then the sun will rise and the sun will set, and another person will come into power. Just because someone gets voted in does not mean it's the end of the world, unless somebody hits the button to launch the nukes. Okay. I mean, I highly doubt that's going to happen. I mean, there's always the chance, a microscopic chance that it could happen. But, you know, you just have to trust that they're not that stupid.
I'm trying to account for the fact that I know I'm biased towards caring about it more than other people. But it's hard to say. But what I do know ultimately is that the online politics don't matter. Becoming the kind of person who over the next few years, assuming that we're still alive, is able to navigate online politics and manipulate the online political space to serve moral ends. That's what matters. So join me in my quest.
Oh, geez.
We'll see what happens. Godspeed. Or, sorry, good luck. Good luck, everyone. And
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, online politics does and does not matter. It's like, I think with more and more people like not having kids, or more and more people just seemingly being like physically alone, but not so much, like there's more and more people like online, and you know, everyone's just like a tweet or a DM away from like being able to talk to someone for the most part. There is this what do you call it? There's this like vibe of like people wanting some sort of like what's it called, like some sort of friend, but the friendship only goes one way, parasocial like friendship thing going on. Like I still think that is like getting like more and more, but I don't think that, I don't know, it's hard to say. So like I would say me as like a 30-year-old dude, 35-year-old dude, like I have no parasocial relationships with anybody online. Everybody is for the most part just an entertaining person. That is about as much mental energy I'm willing to put in. If my favorite online influencer gets banned or they stop making content, I will simply go watch something else. All right, that's about as much time and effort I could put into something. And that's what I can do as like a 35-year-old dude. But as like a young kid, bro, I was like super impressionable. And kids now being brought up on the internet, like unless they have like a really smart like mom and dad, like there's probably like a good considerable amount of people like imprinting onto these like big YouTubers, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's what I would be worried about. Like, oh, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm worried about the kids. I mean, yes and no, but I don't know. It's like a very big topic. One cannot touch grass if there is no grass to touch. True. Yeah, fuck that grass. Fuck that sun. I live in Florida. It's too damn hot out. Yeah. Okay. I'll catch you guys on the next one. This is pretty funny, but yeah. Good video, and I hope you find a way, a direction to swim. Just keep swimming. But yeah, other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.